Hey, it's Tim Whalen from Whalen Jazz Lessons. This video is all about 7th chords. By the end of it, I'm hoping you'll have a complete grasp on every root position chord in every key. This is another utility video, similar to the triad video that I made last time. If you want to check that one out, check the link out. This isn't about how you're going to play chords on a gig or solo piano. It's more just, do you know how to form these chords in every key? And it's about making that clear. It's about building a solid foundation. As we go through this, see it as an exercise. I sometimes call this isn't like a musical situation. It's more of an exercise, but it's an important one. So before we get into it, I'm going to do a little loving, be honest with yourself session. If you're looking at this and saying, I know all this, I don't need to do it, that's awesome. But I would encourage you just to take a second. I'm going to call out some chord qualities and get to your instrument and play them as quickly as you can. If it's not like that, you don't know them, okay? A major 7, B minor 7, G sharp half diminished, E diminished, B major 7 sus 2, E major 7 sharp 5, G7 flat 5, G flat major 7, D flat minor major 7. Okay, you get my point. So it's really getting you so that it's automatic. Once it's automatic, you've got it. I've said in other videos, fluency is all based on making this stuff automatic. Charlie Parker could play the way he played because he made his language so automatic. That's what we're trying to do here. All right? And I also can't stress enough how important it is to know your key signatures and your major, minor scales. Major, melodic minor, and harmonic minor scales. And knowing your intervals. That stuff is so important. That's why it gets taught in every theory class. So generally, 7th chords are the norm in jazz. There are triads, there's 4th chords, there's all sorts of stuff. But in terms of the bedrock of our harmony, in many instances, the 7th chord is the bedrock. So if we take a major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, or 8, we'll call it 1. That's a chord. It's a pretty thick chord, but you know, that's a chord. So that's coming from a scale. Now to get a 7th chord, we just take the odd numbers and get 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. This is what we call a C major 7 chord. Now if you look at it, we're basing it off the key signature of C. We're using the key signature of C major to get us this major 7th chord. The important thing to really think about here, more than anything, I feel, is the 7th. On these 7th chords, the 7th is either going to be a major 7 or a flat 7. So think about it this way. 1, 2, 3, and then here's the top octave, the octave above. The major 7th is a half step below the root. Always. It doesn't matter what the inversion is. It doesn't matter. Wherever the root is in the chord, the 7th is a half step below. If I go like this, there's our root of the chord. This is just the bass note. There's the 7th, half step below. If I have it like this, there's the root of the chord. There's my 7th, okay? So the 7th is down a half step from the root. When we get to the other chords that have a flat 7, it's a whole step away, 2 half steps, flat 7. Major 7, flat 7. Okay? Now when I'm talking about major 7, I'm not talking about the chord quality right now. I'm talking about the interval from the root. Okay? I'm talking half step below the root. It's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the major 7th above, which is a half step below the root. Major 7, half step below the root. flat 7, 2 half steps below the root, or a whole step. Okay? I think I beat that one to death pretty good. All right, so the 6 basic chord qualities are major 7, minor major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, half diminished 7, diminished 7. Those are our 6 basic chord qualities, and then we're going to have some variations of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you the 6 chord qualities one by one, and the reason I do it this way, I said it in my triad video, I like you to see how things move from the major 7 to the diminished. It's important, I have found, again, this is just what has helped me. Some of you may look at this and be like, what is this guy talking about? I found that it helps me, and I've had hundreds of students say, I wish more people would explain it like this. So maybe it'll be that way for you. So if I start with a major 7, I can start to see how notes move from this when I change chord qualities. It's important to be able to see that, and then ultimately you can just see the chord for what it is, okay? So, 1, 3, 5, 7, there's our major 7. I also want to talk about what this will look like on a sheet of music with chord symbols, okay? Major 7 has a couple different ways you could see it. You could see, we're in C, so it's a C, MAJ7. You could say C, MA7. Some people do a C capital M, but that's kind of old stuff now. It's really kind of confusing. And a lot of people will use a triangle. So C triangle 7. The key is it has to have the 7th in the chord. That's how you know it's a 7th chord. So you got C MAJ7, C MA7, C triangle, and a 7. Those are kind of the main chord symbols you'll see for a major 7. Major 7. Now if we flat the 3rd, we will get a minor major 7. 1, flat 3, 5, major 7. Half step below the root, see that? So with minor chords, the chord symbol will have a small m or a small mi, and a lot of people will just use a dash for a minor chord. But with this, what it'll be is a C, M, or dash major 7. So it'll be C minor major 7. The minor indicates the triad. The major 7 indicates what the 7 is, okay? C minor major 7. Those were the 2 major 7 family chords. Now, let's go back to the major 7. We're going to flat the 7, which is a whole step below the root. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. This is dominant 7. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Major 7, dominant 7. Okay? C major 7, C dominant 7. Okay? If you see just a 7, it means dominant. Some people get confused when they're starting out. If they see the 7, they'll play major. It has to have some sort of indication of major for it to be a major 7 chord. Just the 7 is dominant 7. Now if we flat the 3rd, we get minor 7. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. C minor 7. If we flat the 5th, we get C half diminished 7. Or it's called C minor 7 flat 5. Either one. So with this one, you will see, sometimes you'll see a circle with a dash through it and then a 7. Or sometimes you'll see it spelled out. C minor 7 flat 5. I also forgot to mention, the minor 7, it's similar to the minor major 7, but without the major. So we could have a C small m 7, C dash 7, C small mi 7, or even min 7. Those are all common. So if you just see minor 7, it means it has a flat 7. If you see C minor major 7, it has a major 7. I forgot to put that in there, sorry. Now let's go back to the half diminished. If we double flat the 7, we get fully diminished. This is actually the same degree as the 6 of a major scale. So we have a 1, flat 3, flat 5, 6. So all of them. Major 7, minor major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, half diminished 7, diminished 7. The diminished has a circle with a 7th. The circle means diminished. Circle with a 7. Sometimes you'll see DIM 7, but most people will do a circle with a 7. Okay? Major 7, minor major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, half diminished 7, diminished 7. Now what I would do, in this order, go through all the keys. I'll only do a few for the video. C major 7, C minor major 7, C dominant 7, C minor 7, C half diminished 7, C diminished 7. Let's do A flat. A flat major 7, A flat minor major 7, A flat dominant 7, A flat minor 7, A flat half diminished 7, A flat diminished 7. Say the 7 with every chord. Don't leave the 7th out. Get used to saying it as a 7th chord. Let's do G major. G major 7, G minor major 7, G dominant 7, G minor 7, G half diminished 7, G diminished 7. Okay, you get the idea. Now I'm going to take each one through the circle. So the way to practice this is we're just going to play just like the triad video. 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. Same chord in both hands, same voicing. 1, 3, 5, 7 in the left, 1, 3, 5, 7 in the right. We're going to go through the circle of fourths for each of these. Major 7. Okay. Minor major 7. Dominant 7. Here's our major 7. Dominant 7. Minor 7. There's our dominant. Minor 7. Half diminished. Minor 7 flat 5. Diminished. This is all minor thirds. Something to think about. So that's the basic chords. Now let's do some variations, okay? These are the major 7 chord variations based on the major 7th chord, okay? And the minor major 7. The first one, here's C major. It's C major 7 sharp 5. It's an augmented triad with a major 7 on the top. 1, 3, sharp 5, 7. Here it is through the circle. that's the first one. Back to C major. Now instead of C major 7 sharp 5, we have C major 7 flat 5. Some people could call this sharp 11 too, but again, I'm just relating to the 5th because we're flatting the 5th in this particular voicing. Okay, it's also inside the 7th technically, so it's flat 5. And if you look here, there's a whole step between 3 and 4, or flat 5 or sharp 4, and then there's a perfect 4th. 1, 3, flat 5, major 7, or 1, 3, sharp 4, major 7, if it's easier for you to see it that way. Here we go. It's actually a pretty common shape for a lot of voicings. A7 altered, D7, A minor 6. It's like, we'll get to that in a different video. Now this is what we call C major 7 sus 2. It's the 2 replacing the 3rd. It's like a real cinematic. It's also the Steely Dan chord. People call it the mu chord. This is C major 7 sus 2. 1, 2, 5, major 7. Here we go. The next one, major 7 sus 4. The 3rd is going to go up to the 4th, and we get kind of very like, I don't know, like Sondheim or something. I'm about to write a hit musical with that chord. Okay, here we go. 1, 4, 5, major 7. Got a squeaky chair. Sorry about that. Okay. Now we have a variation on the minor major 7 and the diminished. 1, flat 3, flat 5, major 7. 1, it's a diminished triad, and then a perfect 4th on the top. 1, flat 3, flat 5, major 7. This is called diminished major 7. Okay, that was our major 7 variations. Here are the flat 7 variations, and they're based off of dominant 7th chords. So here's C7. Okay. The first one is C7 sharp 5. We raise the 5th. 1, 3, sharp 5, flat 7. It's also technically a flat 13. I'm keeping it sharp 5 so you can see it being raised from the 5th. You'll see this as a C7 sharp 5 chord symbol, or even C plus 7. Here we go. Okay, C7, C7 flat 5. 5, flat 5. 1, 3. Here we go. Something to think about. Some of these look the same. Like for instance, here's B flat. Looks the same as E flat and A flat. A, D, E, they all kind of look the same. The interval structure of the black keys and such, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, the last one. The 4 replaces the 3rd to give us C7 sus4. I think that's it. That's all of them. Hey, if you found this helpful, I'd so appreciate you giving me a thumbs up, or better yet, even hitting subscribe. I'd love for you to become part of my community, and there's going to be more great stuff coming. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it. Happy practicing.